I've been selling online courses since 2019 and I've made over $1 million selling online courses. I just read this book, Building a Story Brand, and I realized I made so many mistakes, and we're already changing the strategy and we're already seeing a lot better results, like 2x better than it used to be before, and we just started applying those principles. So basically in this video, I'm going to talk about my mistakes and things I realized I've been doing wrong, and things that I've learned about marketing and sales. And I just hope that if you're starting a business, if you're working on an online course, you would learn from my mistakes, you would take those principles and you would apply them to your business so you can start making a lot more money than you anticipated. So if you're interested, continue watching this video. I think my number one mistake, and if you look at my website, we're changing it, it's in the process, but I emphasized my story too much in selling my course. So basically my course is about starting on YouTube, and all I did is position myself as an expert, but I forgot that people actually care about their own stories, not my story. And I try to propel my story all over the place because I thought this is what sells. But actually, if you look at the most successful marketing campaigns, if you look at Apple's marketing campaigns, like when you drive here in Silicon Valley, you see beautiful pictures, beautiful shots, beautiful photos, and all you see is a phrase shot with an iPhone. That's it. And you understand that you become an artist if you own an iPhone, and you don't need professional equipment. You don't need this, and that. You just own an iPhone and you're an artist. This is a client story. If Apple was using my principle of writing an ad, they would have an ad saying, we have the best lens. We've done this, this, and that. We are the best lens on the market, blah, 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 without thinking about the client. Now, the next mistake, I am afraid to sell. And it's not that I'm afraid of a product. I have this imposter syndrome that I'm gonna work on with my therapist, but I also understand that I don't want to be too pushy. And I know that internet and people in general are tired of salesy people who are too pushy, who are saying this is your last chance to buy it, when internally you know this is not their last chance to buy it. Like, people are tired of it, and I didn't want to use the tactics to be too pushy. But also what I read in this book is that if you don't sell well, then people feel your weakness, and maybe they misunderstand your weakness. They might think that it's not because you don't want to be too pushy, but because your product is not good enough and you don't want to sell it. And this again changes my attitude completely. And I listened to this blogger who was talking about sales, and she said, if you're afraid to sell, imagine yourself in 20 years or 10 years when your kid asks you, Mom, I just got accepted to Harvard, but I need to pay for it. And you tell your kid, sorry, I can't afford Harvard because I was afraid of selling. And this is like, you can have different attitude to the story. I would tell to my kid, like, go and get a scholarship like your mommy did. But anyways, I know that sales affects not only me, the revenue affects my team and my team's well-being and my kids' well-being. So something to think of. So I'm definitely learning to be more confident when selling. The next mistake is overcomplicating your marketing message, because people buy what they understand the best. And if you're just bragging about your story, or me in this case, or if you're trying to describe too many technical details, they just don't understand and they don't care and they don't buy. Oh, let's talk about LinguaTrip. Another great example. At the beginning, we marketed it as a one-stop shop platform. We automated all communications with schools. We automatically create an invoice. You can pay by card. You can do this, and people like, they're not experts in study abroad market. They have no idea that it works in a different way with different agencies. So we changed our marketing message to live another life by learning a language in a different country. Become a better version of yourself. And that worked a lot better. Now you see the difference. We as entrepreneurs, as creators of our product, we get too deep into details which our customers don't care about. Now, once we talk about my key mistakes, let's talk about how I'm trying to solve them. So first of all, when we think about marketing a product, we think about the story. So we have our hero, our customer, who has a problem, has an obstacle. Then you as a company provide a solution. And then after using the product, your client goes through this transformation and becomes a better version of himself. And what's really important here, and pay special attention here, people are more motivated by solving their internal problem versus selling their external problem. A great example here would be, I have this YouTube course, and people's internal problem is talk about their passion, tell their friends that they're a YouTuber, have this special access to YouTube world and interacting with other influencers, having their own community. It's like sense of meaning. But their external problem, they don't know how to create videos, they don't know which camera they need to use, how to create a script, etc. So when you're marketing your product, focus on this internal problem. Like, I want this status in my society. I want this ability. I want this channel where I can talk about my passion. Instead of just saying, oh, my course will teach you how to buy a camera, how to choose the right equipment, how to write a script, blah, blah, blah. And this is what I've been focusing on. And this strategy should be everywhere, on your website, in your marketing material, even in the way you think about your product. Like, who's your hero? What is his problem? What's the villain? And how your product helps solve this problem. And this should be everywhere on your website. And also when you ask for clients' reviews, like if you look at my clients' reviews, I enjoyed the course so much. It has 72 hours of content, amazing people teaching the course, but no words about transformation, or they have this transformation somewhere in their review, we don't highlight it. But the best review should be this. Before Marina's course, I wanted a YouTube channel, but I didn't know how to start it. I took the course and I graduated with 1,000 subscribers, and now I feel that I have my small community to talk about my interests. Like, Marina, this has been obvious all the time. Now we have to change the whole website. We need to reach out to our clients once again and ask them for a review once again. And when you're asking for a review, have a clear set of questions, because otherwise they would tell you stories, like long stories about how amazing your course is, if they're happy with your product. And then there would be no transformation visible from their review. And you need this transformation for your website, for your marketing material, for everything. For your company growth, it's really important to understand how you're different from other companies on the market, what is special about your product, and the most important, how your product is helping your customers transform their lives. And knowing that, your next step would be building this emotional connection with your customer, becoming their friend, becoming their guide on their journey to becoming a better version of themselves. This is why branding is so essential, and this is why it can double, triple, and quadruple your revenues. The sponsor of today's video is ZBrand, a company that can help your small business with that. ZBrand empowers you to reflect on your brand strategy and how you want others to feel about your brand. You can craft your brand story, which includes your mission, vision, and core values to help better connect with your customers. You can also walk away with an established brand identity that's made up of your brand color palette, typography, mood brand, and logo. Upon completing, you will walk away with a comprehensive brand guideline to help your brand stay consistent when communicating your brand message on and offline. This all is included in ZBrand's standard plan. They are your guide in helping you create your brand story and your brand identity. They also offer one-on-one sessions with Brand Coach for premium members. You can have a session with a coach monthly to discuss any branding challenges you face. If you need help with building your brand strategy, the link to ZBrand will be down below. And getting into the psychological part of it, I was always really upset by people not taking my course up to the very end, and some people just looking at a couple of classes and then dropping off. And I feel that my product is amazing and I did my best. And basically what people tell is that if you're completely satisfied with your product, if you get great reviews from customers, then you don't need to be too upset that some of them don't take 100% of the course. So something to work on with a therapist. But also, I took this On Deck Course Creator Fellowship, and there was a guy, a professor, who specializes in online courses, and he says this completion rate is not a good indicator of a good course when we're talking about online education, because if a client comes to your course, watches 2 classes and solves his problem, this is the transformation that you want, because the end goal of the course is not for everyone to go through every single class, but to have this transformation. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. This is a game changer. So understanding what a transformation is in terms of your product would actually help you fight this imposter syndrome. And there is this amazing story in this book that the author tells. It's about a $40 knife. So he walks into the store that sells knives, and he sees adventurous people holding those knives, and he already feels adventurous, and he feels that if he buys this knife, he would be a different kind of man. He would be more open to new trips, etc. So he buys this knife for $40. He feels amazing. And then in a couple of years, he realizes he never used that knife. And he asks whether that purchase was a good purchase or whether that purchase was a waste of money. And he asked that in a class or at a conference, and the majority of people agreed that was a good purchase. Because when we're buying things, like when I'm buying this blouse, I'm looking for a transformation. I'm thinking, oh my God, when I'm in the video, like already just getting in the mood of, looking more beautiful in the video, making the frame, making the colors match. This is already inspiring, and my content is actually better because I got this shirt. And yes, it might have been a little overpriced, but I'm not actually paying for the material. I'm paying for either access. If it's a fashion brand, I'm paying for access, I'm paying for status, and I'm also paying for my inspiration. And another thing, sorry, I'm just jumping from one thing to another, but one thing I wanted to tell you as well, Gary Vee told this. Now, when people buy things, especially courses, they're not paying for content, they're paying for access. Because if I like this person, I want to be in every single club or community that he organizes, because I just want this sense of belonging. I want something that I would be able to tell my friends, like, hey, I'm a part of this close circle with this guy, though I might attend it only like twice. I used to be a part of this circle with Graham Stephan, and I didn't really attend all the live classes, but I just had this feeling of belonging, like I'm a part of that group. So when we think about the product, our definition of success can be completely different from a customer's definition. And it's different just because we don't understand a customer. But once we go to this strategy, when we think about the problem and the transformation they're willing to achieve, we will look at our product a different way. And this is, again, really important, because if you don't feel satisfied with your product, you will just spend all of the energy on improving, constantly improving it, but you will end up having no clients just because you spend all your energy on creating the product, but you never spend any effort on actually selling it. Another thing that I overestimated in my marketing material is that a lot of people actually want to be a part of a bigger movement, a movement that's bigger than themselves. So when marketing a YouTube course, it's not about marketing tools and how many classes you have. We've figured that out. Yes, it's about marketing their transformation story, but it's also about marketing being a part of this bigger new creator economy. Like, people understand there are movements. Like owning a Tesla, people are not thinking about, oh, I just own an electric vehicle. People actually send a message that they are excited about new technology, that they're trying new things, but also they feel that they're part of this bigger movement to make our planet greener. There are no emissions. I'm this person that helps save the world. So don't underestimate those messages as well. Again, I am this super practical person. So when I look at things, when I do things, I rely on numbers, I rely on how long the classes are, how many people are there in a class, etc. But I underestimate this motivational part. We had a person come into our school, our YouTube school, and she talked to a lot of our students, and she asked why they dropped off, or she asked about their concerns. And the main concern was, Marina's classes are amazing, but we lack motivation. And she looked at my classes and they were full of information, but she was like, Marina, you need to at least create a couple classes where you motivate people to continue, because YouTube journey is lonely, because YouTube journey is hard, you need to do a lot of stuff, it's a lot of work. And once we added those classes, students became a lot happier. We measured that by measuring NPS. Again, I love numbers and I rely on them. But anyways, don't underestimate this motivational, bigger picture kind of part of your product. I want to wrap up this video with a couple tips for your marketing material for your website that I'm going to implement myself. So first of all, not too much text. If you look at my website right now, you're gonna be, so hopefully we'll show it to you right now, but I hope it looks different. But this is the practical version of me. I just want to state all the information, have a lot of text, but nobody reads it. That's the thing. So we'll decrease the amount of text. But basically, you need to showcase the transformational story. If you want to include technical details about your product, then they could be below fold. Like, yes, Apple shows technical details of their products on the website, but they're not on the main landing page. They're not the main marketing message. You need to have an obvious call to action. Reserve a spot, book a consultation, whatever. It can be a straightforward call to action like booking a course, or if your product is more expensive, then you can offer to book a free consultation with one of your specialists. Another tip that he's giving in this book, show images of success, not text. So in my case, I have a YouTube manager course, and there we're just showing salaries of people, even like screenshots of the money that they received with the work done. That is a great image of success, because sometimes you're like, what is an image of success? If I don't know, if I'm buying a camera, yes, it's obvious, but if I'm buying a course on how to make money, what is an image of success? And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, this is me working from the beach, etc. But I think it's a little like everybody uses it. So be different, like a screenshot of the salary or something else that you come up with. But yeah, be different with this. And the last thing I want you to remember is that the customer or your hero has two problems. I want to survive and I want to be loved. Figure out which problem does your product solve and double down on it when marketing your product. Thank you guys for watching this video up to the very end. I hope it was useful, and I hope that in 2 months you come back to this video and you tell Marina, thank you so much for all of your tips. I was able to double my revenue by implementing them. And thank you for recommending this amazing book and this amazing agency. Thank you guys so much. And if you're not yet subscribed to my channel, hit the red button down below. I'll see you very soon in my next videos. Bye bye.